Class 8 Biology Chapter 5 Health and Hygiene. Good morning students. Dear students, till now we have taken up the topics like health, disease, congenital diseases, acquired diseases, then communicable diseases, and under this category few waterborne diseases, foodborne disease, airborne disease, then diseases spread through contact, and the vector-borne diseases. We have taken such examples also. Then we discussed about this rabies, hydrophobia, that is infection transmitted by animal bites. Then I also told you or gave you a basic idea of AIDS. Then this exercise you have already done in your book itself. Now let us see what are the prevention of diseases. Now entry of germs in the body can be prevented by adopting the following measures. Maintenance, first one is maintenance of personal hygiene. So basically it is related to an individual. Keep yourself clean by taking bath, washing hair, wearing clean clothes and trimming nails regularly. Brush your teeth twice a day and rinse your mouth thoroughly after every meal. These habits will help prevent the entry of germs in the body. So more or less all of us we are doing these activities at home. Then we have maintenance of community hygiene. Now first one was related to a single individual. Now the second one is related to the group of individuals. So let us see. Keep your surrounding clean, throw garbage in the covered dustbins, and prevent water from stagnating near your house as it breeds mosquitoes. So not only we need to take care of ourselves, but also we need to take care of our immediate surrounding. Then the prevention of communicable diseases, how they can be prevented. Do not use clothes, food items or other articles of a patient suffering from any communicable disease. Keep all food items and drinking water covered and avoid eating exposed food. Always cover your mouth and nose while sneezing. And these are etiquettes too. Then we have vaccination and immunization. Now our body has a natural defense system that fights against pathogens. This system is known as immune system. It provides immunity to the body, which can be defined as the ability to resist a disease. So when germs enter the body, the immune system produces certain proteins termed as antibodies in the blood plasma, which attack the invading germs and destroy them. These antibodies may remain in blood and prevent the occurrence of the disease in future. This type of immunity is called natural immunity. So what is given over here, students, we know that whenever we are eating food or we are drinking water, certain microorganisms they will enter our body through our, when we are inhaling the air also. So they will enter our body either through mouth or through our nose. And sometimes if there is wound over our skin, then the microorganisms, they can also enter through that opening also. So who is going to take care of all these microorganisms and the infections? So basically it is our immune system. Okay, and this immune system does not let the microbes to grow or to infect our body cells. Okay, so basically how does it work? Whenever there is any entry of microorganism, our body or our blood plasma, okay, it means in our blood itself, so there are certain sort of proteins, and these type of proteins are called antibodies, and they have a special function to just trap the entering microorganism or some harmful chemicals. And they present these microorganisms to our body's cells, like killer cells. Although they are new term to you people, but yes, our body has certain category of the soldier cells. So killer T cells are there, B cells are there, macrophages are there. So all these type of cells, they just destroy the microorganism. So basically they are the part of our white blood cell system. We already know that there is red blood cell, there is WBC, that is white blood cell. So these white blood cells help us to have the immunity, and such immunity is called natural immunity. Then another way by which we can have the immunity, that is acquired by vaccination. So what is the meaning of this vaccination? I'm sure that all of you are familiar with the term vaccination, which is the introduction of vaccine into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease. So students, these vaccines are generally given to small kids. So let us see, a vaccine is a biological preparation that contains weakened or kill disease causing microorganisms which provide immunity to that disease. And these microorganisms cannot cause the disease, but they stimulate the immune system to produce antibodies. The antibodies then destroy these microorganisms and remain in the blood to provide immunity to the disease in future. Such an immunity is referred to as acquired immunity, and the process of developing immunity in response to vaccination is called immunization. So basically what happens is, students, for example, if a child is to be given a polio vaccine, okay, so polio vaccine, it is written, so it should be a biological preparation that contains weakened or killed disease causing microorganism. So if a child is given polio vaccine, so basically what that vaccine contains, it contains either the weakened form or the killed disease causing microorganism. And you know, polio is a viral disease, so either we take the killed form of the virus or the weakened form of the virus, and we introduce this virus into the child's body. Now the child's body will recognize it to be as a invader, and the child's body will try to make antibodies. The blood plasma of the child will try to make the antibodies. I already told you the meaning of antibodies. They are the type of proteins which are meant for fighting against the infection. So there after the production of the antibodies, now in future, if the polio virus in its dreaded form, if it is taking place, it is entering the child's body, the already made antibodies, they will take care of it. Okay, so the antibodies then destroy these or microorganisms and remain in blood to remain in blood. Okay, now they will remain in the child's blood and will provide immunity to the disease in future, so that child, whenever it grows, it will not be contracted by the polio virus, because whenever the polio virus will be entering, the child's already made antibodies, they will take care of it, and such an immunity is referred to as acquired immunity. Okay, because it has been gained or it has been acquired purposely. Now the process of developing immunity in response to vaccination is called immunization. So don't get confused between vaccination and immunization. There is a very minute difference between these two terms. Okay, the process of developing immunity in a response to vaccination is called immunization. So we have this immunization program of polio, pulse polio, which we say generally. Okay, so likewise, a newborn baby, when it is 3 months old, when it is 6 months old, likewise it is given several injections up to the its childhood. So basically in the first year of a child's age, so many vaccines or injections it has been given to the kid. So students, this is all for today. Goodbye.